In today's fast-paced world, where quick wins often overshadow long-term impact, what does it really take to build something that lasts? A company that thrives in uncertainty and leaves a legacy for generations? Welcome to the Nelson Book Club, a book review series curated by Nebu Nelson and powered by Amazon. Here, we explore the best in self-improvement and entrepreneurial thinking. This isn't just a book, it's a guide for visionary leaders who want to transform ambition into legacy. Dive into the powerful lessons of Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0 and unlock the blueprint for enduring greatness. For exclusive offers on the books we discuss, check out the link in the description.
All right, so let's talk about building something that lasts.
Yeah.
Not just something that, fizzles out after a couple years.
Right.
And I feel like that's where this deep dive comes in.
Yeah.
We're tackling Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0 by Jim Collins.
And William Lazier. Yeah.
A book that's not just about starting a business, but building a company that thrives for decades, even centuries.
Really about going beyond just success in the moment.
Right.
And focusing on creating something truly enduring.
Yeah. And the book starts off strong with this idea of visionary leadership.
Yeah.
What really struck me was it's not just about having a vision.
Mm-hmm.
It's about truly living
Right.
and breathing
Yeah.
those core values.
Well, the book differentiates between core values
Okay.
and aspirational values.
Interesting.
It's an interesting distinction.
Okay.
Core values are your bedrock,
Okay.
the non-negotiables
Yeah.
that guide every decision.
Yeah.
Aspirational values are what you're striving toward. Okay.
But they shouldn't come
Yeah.
at the expense
Yeah.
of your core.
So it's kind of like if your core value is integrity,
Right.
you're not going to cut corners just to hit his sales target.
Exactly.
Right.
It's about having that unwavering commitment
Yeah.
to your principles, even when it's tough.
Even when it's hard. Now, I know you're probably thinking, okay, that's great for a company,
Right.
but what about me?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. This principle applies to us as individuals, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are your core values?
Yes.
What are those non-negotiables in your life?
It's a great point.
Because if you're not clear on those,
Right.
it's easy to get pulled in a million different directions.
It's about defining your personal compass,
Yes.
what truly matters to you,
Right.
and then using that to guide your choices every single day.
Every single day. All right, next up, the book tackles this whole idea of empowerment, not just authority.
Right.
Honestly, this was a bit of an aha moment for me. It's a shift away from that traditional top-down leadership style, isn't it?
Totally.
The authors argue that truly effective leaders delegate responsibility.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
trust their teams to make decisions and own their work.
Yeah.
Right.
And think about it. When you've been given that kind of trust and autonomy,
Yeah,
you're way more motivated,
for sure.
right? You feel like you actually have a stake in the outcome.
Absolutely. That sense of ownership can be incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
It fosters engagement, sparks creativity, and drives people to go above and beyond.
And this isn't just limited to leading a team.
Right.
Even if you're working on a personal project,
Yeah.
you can apply this principle
Right.
by taking initiative,
Mm-hmm.
setting your own goals,
Yeah.
and really owning your progress.
It's about stepping into that space of empowerment, regardless of your role or situation.
Okay. Now, for one of my favorite concepts from the book,
Yeah.
the Hedgehog Concept.
Yeah.
I love this one because it's super practical and really gets you thinking strategically.
It's essentially a tool for finding your sweet spot,
Okay.
that intersection of passion, mastery, and economic engine.
Yeah. Break that down for us. What do those three circles actually mean?
So passion is all about what truly excites you,
Okay.
what gets you fired up.
Okay.
Mastery is about what you're naturally good at,
Yeah.
what you could potentially be the best in the world at.
Okay.
And economic engine is about what drives your financial sustainability,
Okay.
how you can actually make a living doing what you love.
I can see how this would be huge for a business.
Yeah,
But can you give us an example of how someone might apply this to their personal life?
absolutely. Let's say someone is passionate about fitness
Okay.
and has a knack for teaching.
Okay.
They could find their mastery in creating online workout programs
Got it.
and their economic engine through a subscription-based platform.
Right. That's a perfect example. So for everyone listening,
Yeah.
I want you to take a minute and think about your own hedgehog concept.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
are you passionate about?
Mm-hmm.
What are you good at?
Right.
And how can you make it sustainable?
Yeah.
Whether that's financially or in terms of your time and energy.
It's a really powerful exercise in self-discovery.
Yeah?
It forces you to get clear on what truly matters to you and how you can align your actions with your passions and strengths.
Right.
So welcome back to our deep dive into Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0.
Yes.
In the last part, we talked about,
Yeah.
the power of aligning your actions
Yeah.
with your core values,
Right.
empowering yourself and others,
Yeah.
and finding your hedgehog concept,
Yeah. I love that.
that sweet spot
That sweet spot. Yeah.
where your passion, mastery, and economic engine intersect.
Totally.
Now let's explore
Okay.
how to build something that lasts,
Okay. Yeah.
something that can truly
Right.
stand the test of time.
So how do we make sure that what we're building isn't just a flash in the pan? I mean, think about all the companies
Right.
that were once giants
Yeah.
and now are just a footnote in history.
Well, the book introduces this concept of clock building, not time telling.
Okay.
It's about shifting from a focus on short-term results
Yeah.
to building a company,
Yeah.
or a life for that matter,
Right.
that can thrive even without you,
Right.
constantly at the helm.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's about creating a system that's self-sustaining,
Mm-hmm.
like a well-oiled machine that just keeps ticking.
Exactly. Think about those companies that have been around for centuries.
Yeah.
They've had multiple leaders,
Right.
multiple generations of employees,
Yeah.
but they've managed to maintain their core values
Right.
and their commitment to excellence.
So how do we actually build a clock in our own lives or businesses?
Well, one key aspect is succession planning.
Okay.
And this doesn't just apply to CEOs.
Yeah.
It's about constantly developing
All right.
leadership talent
Uh,
throughout the organization
Yeah.
or in your own life.
Right.
It could be about mentoring others,
yeah.
sharing your knowledge
Yeah.
and skills.
So it's like investing in your own legacy,
Right.
making sure that what you've built
Mm-hmm.
continues to grow
Yeah.
and evolve
Yeah.
even after you're gone.
Precisely. It's also about documenting
Okay.
your core values
Yeah.
and principles.
Okay.
It's not enough to just talk about them.
Right.
You need to write them down.
Okay.
Make them explicit
Okay.
so that they can be passed on
Okay.
to future generations
Yeah.
or in your own life.
Yeah.
Serve as a guiding document
Right.
that you can refer back to.
It's like creating a blueprint for success
Yeah.
that can be followed and adapted
Mm-hmm.
over time.
Now, shifting gears a bit,
Okay.
the book also emphasizes
Nice.
the importance
Yeah.
of embracing innovation.
Okay. Innovation.
Yeah.
That sounds exciting, but also a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
How do we innovate without losing sight of our core values
Right.
or our hedgehog concept?
It's a great question. It's about striking a balance between staying true to your core
Yeah.
and being willing to adapt
Right.
to changing circumstances.
Yeah.
The key is to be strategic about which innovations enhance your strengths,
Right.
rather than diverting you
Okay.
from your path.
So it's not about chasing every shiny new object.
Right.
It's about being thoughtful and intentional
Mhm.
about which innovations align with your long-term vision.
Exactly. And remember, innovation doesn't have to be some grand revolutionary idea.
Okay.
It can be incremental improvements,
Got it.
small tweaks
Yeah.
that make your products or services
Right.
better, faster, or more efficient.
And this applies to our personal lives too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It could be about experimenting with new productivity techniques,
Mhm.
trying a different approach to a problem, or even just shaking up your routine
Right.
to keep things fresh.
Absolutely. It's about having a culture of continuous improvement
Yeah.
where you're always looking for ways to learn, grow, and evolve.
Now, the book also talks about building a disciplined culture.
Right.
And I have to admit, when I first heard that phrase, it sounded a bit intimidating.
I understand.
Yeah.
But it's not about being rigid or authoritarian. It's about having a set of clearly defined values and expectations,
Okay.
and then holding yourself
Yeah.
and others, if you're in a leadership role,
Right.
accountable to those standards.
So it's about having a strong framework,
Yeah,
but within that framework, there's freedom and autonomy.
exactly.
It's about having the discipline to say no
Yeah.
to opportunities that don't align
Mm-hmm.
with your core values
Right.
or your strategic goals,
Right.
even if they seem tempting
Right.
in the short term.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
And it's about having the discipline to stick to your guns, even when it's hard,
Yeah.
to make tough decisions,
Mhm.
to cut your losses,
Yeah.
and to stay focused on the long game.
You know what's really resonating with me
Yeah.
is how This idea of disciplined culture
Yeah.
can apply to personal growth. It's about having that self-discipline
Right.
to stay on track with your goals,
Right.
to make healthy choices,
Yeah.
and not get sidetracked by distractions.
It all comes down to building those good habits and having the discipline to stick to them, even when you don't feel like it.
Right. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been exploring Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0 and how to build something that not only succeeds but endures. We've covered a lot of ground. From visionary leadership, that powerful Hedgehog Concept, to building a self-sustaining system and cultivating a culture of discipline. But there's one more big idea we need to unpack.
You're talking about BH eggs?
Yes. Big.
Big, hairy, audacious goals. This is where things get really exciting.
Okay, honestly, when I first heard that term, I thought it was a bit much. But the more I think about it, the more I see how having a BHAG can really push you beyond your comfort zone and help you achieve extraordinary things.
It's about setting a goal that's so ambitious, so far beyond your current capabilities that it almost seems impossible. But that's the point. It forces you to think bigger, to stretch your imagination and your potential.
So it's not just about setting a challenging goal. It's about setting a goal that truly inspires you, that lights a fire under you, and keeps you motivated even when things get tough. Can you give us an example of a BHAG from the book, something that really illustrates the power of this concept?
Well, one of the classic examples is President John F. Kennedy's famous 1961 speech, where he declared that the United States would put a man on the moon before the end of the decade. At the time, it seemed almost unimaginable. But that audacious goal galvanized the entire nation and ultimately led to one of humanity's greatest achievements.
That's a perfect example. It shows how a BHA can create a shared sense of purpose, a rallying cry that unites people and propels them towards a common goal. So how can we apply this concept to our own lives? How do we go about setting a BHAG that's both meaningful and achievable?
It all starts with alignment. Your BHA needs to be in sync with your core values and your Hedgehog Concept. It should be something you're truly passionate about, something that resonates deeply with your purpose. It's not about choosing a random ambitious goal. It's about identifying something that truly matters to you and that you believe in with all your heart.
So it's about connecting with that deep-seated desire, that burning ambition that drives you forward. But it also needs to be grounded in reality, right? We don't want to set ourselves up for failure by aiming for something that's completely unattainable.
Absolutely. While a BHA should be challenging, it shouldn't be impossible. It's about finding that sweet spot between ambitious and achievable, something that stretches you beyond your comfort zone, but that you believe is within reach with enough effort and determination.
So it's like setting the bar high, but not so high that you can't even see it. It's about striking that balance between aspiration and realism. Once you've set your BHAG, what's the next step?
Break it down. You need to create a roadmap, a step-by-step plan. That outlines the smaller, more manageable goals that will lead you towards your ultimate objective. It's about having that big, audacious vision, but also having a practical plan for how you're going to get there.
Right. It's like having a destination in mind, but also mapping out the route, planning the pit stops, and packing the supplies you'll need along the way. But it's not just about reaching the destination, is it? It's about the journey itself.
Exactly. The process of pursuing a BHAG is just as important as the outcome. It's about the growth you experience, the lessons you learn, the challenges you overcome. It's about pushing yourself beyond your limits and discovering what you're truly capable of.
I love that. It's about embracing the journey with all its twists and turns, and knowing that even if you don't fully achieve your BHAG, the pursuit of it will have a profound impact on your life. It will elevate your standards, expand your horizons, and inspire you to achieve things you never thought possible.
And that's really the heart of Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0. It's not just about building a successful business. It's about building a life of purpose, of meaning, of impact. It's about pursuing something bigger than yourself and leaving a legacy that extends far beyond your own lifespan.
Well said. So, to everyone listening, I encourage you to embrace the power of BHAs. Think big, dream bold, and don't be afraid to set audacious goals that light you up and push you to be your best self.
It's been an incredible journey exploring these powerful ideas with you today. And remember, the world needs more people who are willing to think big, to challenge the status quo, and to pursue goals that make a real difference.
And to you, dear listener, we say keep learning, keep growing, and keep chasing those big, hairy, audacious goals.
Thanks for tuning in to The Nelson Book Club. If you'd like to hear an extended review of this book, drop a comment saying, extend below. And don't forget to grab your own copy of the book discussed in this episode. Check out the link in the description. Until next time, keep reading and keep growing.